section with rational numbers. It's BEDMAS with rational numbers, so order of operations. So the first thing you need to know is the order of the operations that need to be done. So you need to do your operations that are inside the brackets first. So any operations that are inside the brackets, you need to do those first. Secondly, you would do your exponents. Okay, so any exponents, you would do that. Afterwards, you would multiply and divide from left to right. Finally, you would want to add and subtract in order from left to right. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna do two examples. So let's take a look at this one. So let's just see what we can do. We have here. We have an addition. We have a division and a multiplication. So the first thing we're gonna do is this here. That's the first step. It's the multiplication and division, and then we're gonna do this one. Why do we do this one first? Is because we go from the left to the right. So let's do that, and finally, then we're going to add. But these are all decimals, so you're gonna need to change them into fractions. You could do them using decimals, but we're going to use fractions. So 12 tenths divided by -3 tenths. So we have a common denominator here. We can just do 12 divided by -3. It's going to be -4. Okay? So I have a -8 tenths plus -4 multiplied by 1.5. So here, let's continue along this same idea. You have 4 times 1.5. So 4 times 1.5 is, well, 4 times 1 is 4, and half of 4 is 2. And you have a negative times a positive, it's going to be a negative answer. So you have -4 and half of 4, 2, so 6. So you have -8 tenths plus 6. So you're adding together, so your answer is going to be -6 and 8 tenths. There you go. Second example and final example. So here, let's see what we have. We have a bracket. We're going to have to do this first. Then you're going to have to multiply and divide from left to right. So you're going to do this, and then you're going to do this. And finally, your difference is going to be your final operation. So let's get to it. A lot of work. So we have 1/3 plus 3/12. So 1/3 is how many 12s? What's the third of 12? Is 4. So 1/3 is 4/12. So we have 4/12 plus -3/12. So that's 1/12. So I'm just going to drop everything down here. 2/3. And we can do this right now because it's a second operation. So we have two negative numbers multiplied together. So that's just going to be positive. So 1 times 1. And remember, when you're multiplying, you want to do a numerator times numerator and denominator times denominator. So 1 times 1 is 1. And 2 times 2 is 4. So you have 1/4 minus the division of these two numbers. So now we need to divide these two numbers. Okay? So now to divide, we need to have a common denominator. We know 1/3 is 4/12. So let's do that. We have two of them, so that's -8/12 divided by 1/12. So we have 8 divided by 1. The answer is going to be negative, so that's going to be -8. So we have 1/4 minus 8. That's what we have. We have a quarter minus 8. So you could do common denominator, or you could use a little bit of common sense here. Oh, wait. I forgot my negative here. So we have a quarter minus 8. So here, what you're going to do is you could change a quarter to 25 hundredths if you would want to, or you could use fractions. It doesn't really matter. There's a lot of different ways to do this. But the main thing is you're probably going to have to end up using a number line and locate both numbers. So you have negative 8, that would be around here, and let's say if 0 is here, you would have a quarter around here, like a quarter right after 0. It's a quarter. So what's the difference between those two? Well, you have 8 here and you have a quarter here. And you always start from the second one, so your answer would be 8 and a quarter. And there you go. Let's look at the practice. Make sure you check your word behind the book.